Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to the All Time Podcast, the podcast of all time. And today we're going to be talking about the hidden cost of being a normie and why I'm just never going to be one. All right, so let's get into it. So, firstly, what is a normie? So, a normie is basically a quote unquote normal person in the eyes of modern society. They hold the conventional opinions, they do the normal things, they like typical mainstream things like mainstream music, mainstream movies, mainstream video games, just very, very conventional, which is not necessarily bad in and of itself. I'll be nice. But there are a lot of downsides to this kind of normie lifestyle, and the biggest one is the consumerism involved. Consumerism is the absolute foundation of normieism. They are always consuming every trend. They have to be in on it. Every single movie, they have to be in on it, or at least most of them, or a lot of them. Every mainstream video game, they're buying them. They're getting the DLC. They're doing it all. It's just a very, very expensive lifestyle. And what a lot of us don't realize is that most normies, they are not good in the financial aspect. They're buying things on credit. They're using Klarna for everything. They're in lots of credit card debt. It's really, really not good from the financial sense to be a normie. And that's not even counting any kind of mental or spiritual aspect as well. Normie lifestyles are usually very void of value and purpose. So that's also another ding on the normie lifestyle that you want to avoid. And there's just enormous, enormous peer pressure from people in your immediate group, as well as just in general on social media, to have this kind of consumeristic normie lifestyle. You have to buy a new car, or should I say, finance a new car every couple of years because you don't want to be driving around with an old car that's been paid off already. It's almost like you're a freak for not paying a car note. It's really, really strange. Some people, as soon as they pay off their car, they're immediately looking for the next one rather than just finally enjoying the car that they finally own and have paid off. They're now looking for another way to get back into car debt. It's insane. And there's just this thing where you have to always be flexing on social media. You have to always show outward success all the time. Hey guys, look at my new car. Hey guys, I just got a new house. I just got this. I just got that. It's always for the sake of impressing people that, to be honest, don't really care about you that much. And to just be blunt, they're not even paying your bills. So I would not go into any kind of financial trouble just to temporarily impress them, if even that. Like for the most part, they give you a like, they may comment, "Oh, wow, that's great." And then that's it. You spent 40, 50, 60, 80,000 dollars for nothing basically. Oh yeah, plus interest too. So that's even more. And things like travel. Travel is so expensive. And, traveling is fine. I've traveled a few times, mostly for work, to be honest, but, I have traveled a few times. Um, I've done things with friends across states, but this whole thing where you have to constantly be going to bigger and bigger and bigger places all the time, for the most part, I would say it's a waste of money. Your mileage may vary. Some people get more out of it, but for most normies, they're just going to a very expensive place. They eat, they take pictures, they come back, they post everything. It's just, did you really need to do that? And this is not me saying what you should do or what you have to do, but I think for a lot of us, it's just not worth all the money, and especially not if it's going to get you into any kind of financial issue. If you're taking on debt to go on these trips, absolutely not. It's not worth it. Go somewhere local or go somewhere, maybe in state or maybe a couple states over. It's nothing too crazy. Basically, what I'm saying is don't travel to impress your normie friends or the normies on your social media. It's just not worth it. Most normies are not in a good financial position. And to be honest, they want you to not be in one either. Consciously or subconsciously, they want you to engage in these expensive activities, these money wasting activities, these time wasting activities, so you can be just like them. You don't really get anything out of that. It's just so they can reaffirm their lifestyle. So, yeah, complete waste of time and money. And also, everything is a subscription these days. It's so expensive. You have Netflix, Hulu, Paramount, Disney Plus, I think ESPN, all the sports have a subscription now. It's nuts. And after a certain point, you just have to say, I'm just not going to do that. Like Netflix used to actually have a good value. I believe it was $8.99 or $9.99, and you had a ton of old TV shows and movies, and it had value because they were all in one place and you can stream them in a convenient way. I know there are other methods of viewing media, if you know what I mean, wink wink. But for a normie, that was fine if they weren't trying to torrent or anything like that. But then over time, everyone wanted their own subscription service, so everyone took away their movies, their TV shows, and now you're left with Netflix now, where it's I believe it's double the cost, or if you still want the same price, it'll have ads. And most of the shows are gone. Most of the good shows are gone. Most of the good movies are gone. And you're stuck with garbage Netflix originals. And it's basically designed so you have to have multiple subscriptions if you want to watch all your favorite TV shows and movies. Even with sports, I believe you have to have several different subscriptions in order to watch all the games that you want. It's really nuts. Yeah, I was right actually. I'm looking it up right now. It says you generally need multiple subscriptions or a mix of services to watch every NFL football game. Someone else online asks, why do I need three different subscriptions just to watch one NFL team? So you need multiple subscriptions just to watch your own team play across the season. That is crazy. And people will pay for it too. And they have, and they are. Because if they don't, they'll look weird in front of their normie friends. So just imagine you're Bob the normie, okay? You have your normal job, you have your 10 subscriptions so you can watch every NFL game. You have a Netflix and Hulu subscription so you can watch mediocre TV shows so you can have something to talk about with your coworkers. Your wife is probably bugging you to go on some trip to some foreign country. It's going to be super expensive so she can post pictures, so she can look more wealthy than she actually is. And not to mention, you use DoorDash and Grubhub for all your food or a lot of your food. That is just so ridiculous. It is so expensive and it's just so unnecessary. I'm just not going to play these games. Oh, yeah. And you have to keep buying the same vehicle over and over and over again once it's paid off because you just have to, okay? You just have to keep financing a car constantly. Heaven forbid you have an older car that's more than 2 years old that's paid off and that you're just doing maintenance on and just driving to work and back. You have to constantly be buying another new vehicle all the time, essentially leasing forever. So you're just in this constant state of buying and paying for things and consuming things. And I know obviously you have to buy things eventually, but it's gotten to a point where you're just getting just wrung dry for every penny that you have for services that are getting increasingly expensive and worse at the same time. But having one or two things here and there, it's not a big deal. But I'm talking about the entire consumeristic normie lifestyle of having everything as a subscription or as a debt. Once you've freed yourself from this kind of normie mindset, it's really, really liberating for your finances and just for your life in general. You're not worried about all this nonsense, keeping up with trends and all these other things. You can just focus on you, do what you want to do, and grow the way that you want to grow without being bogged down by a million subscriptions to ESPN or having to get a new car every other year or something like that just to keep up with other people. So, a really good thing you can do is just either cut off social media completely or at the very least drastically reduce your consumption of social media because what the real problem is it creates a comparison between you and other people. You're always competing to see who has the better life or who's finding more success, and comparison is just it's a complete poison. You'll never be happy with what you have, and you'll always be frustrated because you're always going to be comparing yourself to other people whom you don't even know the full story of. Many of them are, like I said, struggling financially, but they're just faking the appearance of wealth or success or happiness, and it's just not healthy for you. You'll tend to make more irrational decisions based on your emotion because you're feeling jealous of someone that you saw online, or you're upset that you're not where you want to be at the time. So just unplug and just focus on you, do your thing, and just don't worry about all the BS and all the noise. You'll be able to budget a whole lot better. You're not having all these extra expenses trying to keep up with all the other normies and all the nonsense. So that's about all I had to say about this. Hope you all got something out of it and enjoyed the episode. This is Jay on the All Time Podcast, signing out.